guys, Ashley from Ltkcuties here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Meadow Mug Rug, and for this project you will need size 4 cotton yarn, a H hook, and some scissors. Now let's get ready to begin. Alright, so you're going to begin this project by chaining 16. Okay, so now we are going to be doing this project in rows. So what we're going to do is we're going to work into the second chain from the hook, and I like to turn my chain so I work in the back bump. And you're going to single crochet. And if you would like to make this project longer or shorter, you would just have to use an even number, so you would just chain an even number. Okay, so there's one single crochet, and you're just gonna go single crochet into each chain all the way until you get to the very end. Okay, so now that you have chained, or you worked in all of your chain, we are going to chain 2 and start our next row, and the chain 2 counts as a double crochet. So we're going to start our cluster puff in the first stitch, the same spot right here. So you just yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and you're going to insert your hook again, pull up a loop. Now you're not pulling through just yet. You're going to yarn over, you're going to skip this next stitch, and you're going to work in this next stitch. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and insert your hook into the same stitch one more time. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and you're going to pull through all of these loops on your hook. Okay, now you're going to chain 1 after because you want to close your cluster puff. And there you made your first cluster puff. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start another cluster puff. So what we do is we yarn over and you insert your hook into the same stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over, insert it again, pull up a loop. Don't pull through the loops yet. You're going to yarn over, skip the next stitch, and work into that next stitch. So you're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop again, yarn over, and pull through all the loops on your hook, and then chain 1. And continue doing this, the same thing, until you get to the very last stitch. Okay, so after you finish your last cluster puff, this is what it'll look like. You will have 7 cluster puffs. And then now what you want to do is you want to yarn over and you want to do your double crochet in the very same stitch as the last cluster puff you just did. So you double crochet, and now this counts as a stitch. Oops. So now you have 2 double crochets on each end. The chain 2 acts as a double crochet and 7 cluster puffs. All right. So now we will begin the next row. So you're going to chain 2, count as a double crochet, turn your work, and now you're going to be working your cluster puffs in the spaces. So each of these spaces right there, not, well, I see a lot of people work it in the middle, and you don't want to do that. To accomplish the look, you work in the spaces. So you yarn over and you insert in the space, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop. Now you're not going to pull through yet. You're going to yarn over and you're going to insert your hook into this next space right here. So pull up a loop, sorry, yarn over, pull up another loop, yarn over, pull through all of the loops on your hook, chain one to close. So you're just going to continue doing this, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert hook, pull up the loop, yarn over, and then work in the next space doing the same thing. Okay, so then keep doing that until you get to the very end. Okay, so just before you finish your last cluster puff, you might be wondering, like, where am I putting it? Because you're not going to put it in the space, okay, because that's going to make it look uneven. So what I do is, after I do my first cluster puff leg, is you're going to work into the top of the chain 2 from the previous row. So let's see, 1, 2. So not that stitch right there, because that's not the top of it. That's part of the cluster puff. So you just yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. You got all your loops, yarn over and pull through all of those, close one or chain one to close, and then you're going to yarn over, and the very same chain 2 stitch you're going to make a double crochet. That way the sides are all even. And there you can see. So you'll have each row, you will have 2 double crochets on each end, and then you will have 7 cluster puffs. So now that you've finished row 9, this is what your work will look like, and you can start to see as you go the cluster puffs look like they're stacking on top of each other. So it gives it a really, really nice look. So now we're going to begin row 10, and we're just going to do the same thing as we did in row 1. We're just chain 1 and turn your work, and you're just going to work a single crochet into each stitch across. So you will have worked 15 single crochets all the way to the end, but I haven't done my last one yet because I wanted to show you that I don't put it in this stitch right here. I put it in the top of the chain 2, just to make sure it's nice and even. So once you're done with that, you'll have 15 single crochets, and then you're going to just cut your yarn, and you're going to weave in your ends, and then you're going to add fringe if you would like to. Now, if you want your project to be a little bit bigger, you just continue adding on your rows until it's the length that you would like. And if you would like to make it wider, just make sure you start with an even amount of chains. Okay, so now you can add fringe to the ends where you did your single crochets, and then on the other side of your chain. I just got like a small book, and I just wrapped a bunch of yarn around it, and I just cut it, and then I placed like 2 strands of the yarn in each single crochet, and each on the chain side opposite of your beginning single crochet row, and then I just trimmed it in a trash can to the length that I liked, and that was it. And here's one that I made a few years ago. My daughters actually were using it as a rug or a blanket for their Barbie house, and it makes super great gifts for Mother's Day, with a mug or a Christmas gift. And I hope you guys like this video, and please like and subscribe if you would like to see more videos and updates on what patterns I'm publishing.